Faith Evans married her son's godfather, and then he turned around and asked for spousal support. Let that sink in. How do you go from Grammy-winning R&B queen to being dragged into court by Stevie J, a man known more for reality TV chaos than relationship stability? And y'all, this wasn't just a messy love story. This was a walking, talking, hot stankin' mess wrapped in red flags. We're talking cheating allegations, secret Vegas weddings, financial drama, baby mama beef, and a man who proposed to another woman a month before saying "I do" to Faith. Was it love? Was it a setup? Or was it just another chapter in Stevie J's long-running saga of turning every relationship into a train wreck? Because the receipts? Oh, they're plenty. And once you see the timeline, you'll realize this relationship was doomed from the jump. Let's get into it. Let's rewind to 2016, the year this roller coaster left the station. Faith Evans was in the middle of working on The King and I, a posthumous duet album with her late husband, the notorious B.I.G. She brought in a few familiar faces to help: Diddy, naturally, and Stevie J. Now that might seem innocent at first glance. After all, Stevie was part of Bad Boy's legendary production squad back in the day, and he was practically family. Literally, he was the godfather to Faith and Biggie's son, CJ. So how did Uncle Stevie end up being Stepdaddy Stevie? That's where things get murky. According to Faith, it all started in the studio. She says Stevie began flirting with her while they were recording the album, but she shut it down. She saw him as a friend, family, nothing more. But Stevie? Oh, he was on a mission. He didn't stop at Faith. He allegedly pleaded with her friends to help him shoot his shot. Months went by. Faith finally gave in. Now pause right there. What she didn't mention was that Stevie was already expecting a baby with Jocelyn Hernandez at the time. Yup, Jocelyn was pregnant with his 6th child when he decided to make a move on Faith. So from day one, this love story had an expiration date. It wasn't some slow-burning fairy tale romance. It was a pressure-cooked situationship built on emotional manipulation and a whole lot of denial. And it gets worse. So just when you thought it couldn't get messier, enter Liz. Barely 2 months into Faith and Stevie's relationship, this woman named Liz popped up like an uninvited +1 at a wedding. She hit social media with a bombshell. She had allegedly been dating Stevie for the past 7 months, while he was simultaneously chasing Faith. But wait, it gets juicier. Liz claimed she wasn't just Stevie's girlfriend, she was his sponsor. Sis said she was rich, successful, and had been financially supporting him like a full-time job. Expensive gifts? She bought them. His lifestyle? She funded it. And while she was shelling out the coins, Stevie was allegedly still whispering sweet nothings into Faith's ear. But that's not even the wildest part. According to Liz, Faith started harassing her. Yup, Faith Evans, allegedly sending her photos of positive pregnancy tests and threatening emails. Like we just skipped straight past First Lady of R&B and landed in Love and Hip Hop R&B edition. And if you think Liz was dismissed as a bitter ex, nope, people believed her. Why? Because Stevie's track record spoke for itself. The man had baby mama drama, cheating allegations, child support debt, and a resume full of red flags longer than a CVS receipt. Even blogs were issuing public service announcements. One site literally told Faith, "Run, child, run." And for a minute, she did. Reports came out that Faith dumped Stevie after learning he was still messing with Jocelyn behind her back. Faith told Behind Every Man that she wasn't about to be a homewrecker. But guess what? A month later, they were back together. Because in Stevie's words, "Getting dumped made me lace up my boots and do all the right things." Whatever that means. Let's just say those boots were made for lying. So let's fast forward to July 2018. Faith and Stevie are in Las Vegas, supposedly just vibing. And out of nowhere, Stevie hits her with the "we should get married, like right now." No planning, no rings, no prenup, just vibes, delusion, and a hotel room marriage license. Now, according to insiders, Faith didn't even call her family first. You know why? Because Stevie allegedly didn't want her to. He knew if she told her friends and family she was marrying him, they would have begged her to run for the hills. So instead, they went ahead and tied the knot on the low. No big wedding, no guests, just 2 people making what might be the fastest bad decision in R&B history. This was Stevie's first marriage, Faith's third, and maybe her messiest. The reactions? Whew. Blindsided is an understatement. Her son CJ, who again had to process the fact that his godfather was now also his stepdad, was reportedly stunned. Her friends? blowing up her phone like she just got recruited into a cult. And how did Faith respond to all the concern? Did she reassure her loved ones? Maybe explain her decision? Nope, she sent them a link to a song she recorded with Stevie. A song. It was called A Minute, and the lyrics said it all. Lately, I've been thinking you could be my baby. Everybody thinking we both crazy. Girl, we weren't thinking it. We knew it. But just when you thought it couldn't get any more bizarre, here comes Joseline again, dragging a whole suitcase of receipts. And what she posted next? Yeah, it blew everything up. 2 days after Faith and Stevie said, I do, Joseline popped up like a reality TV villain who just heard her name in the confessional, and she wasn't empty-handed. Nope, she had screenshots. Joseline posted alleged text messages from June 17th, just 1 month before the wedding, where Stevie was begging her to marry him. Yes, you heard that right. He proposed to another woman just weeks before marrying Faith Evans. And Joseline, in true petty queen form, aired him out immediately. Her response to his marriage proposal, she told him she was already interested in marrying someone else, somebody she actually liked. Oop! Now imagine being Faith. You've just married this man in a hotel room. No rings, no prenup. Your family is blowing up your phone. And now the whole internet is looking at you sideways because your new husband was proposing to his ex a few weeks ago. But instead of pumping the brakes or even acknowledging the red flags, Faith and Stevie doubled down. Like full steam ahead into chaos. Stevie told People magazine in early 2019 that he was head over heels and putting in work. And by work, he said he was giving it to Faith 3 to 5 times a day. Sir, nobody asked. It was all very TMI meets midlife crisis. The point is, Stevie was overcompensating. He wanted everyone to think this was the real deal, the fairy tale. That somehow, after all the cheating, exes, baby mama drama, and financial wreckage, this was going to be his redemption arc. But behind the scenes, the cracks were already showing. And the meltdown? Oh, it was coming. Fast. Now here's where things start unraveling, publicly. By mid-2019, the honeymoon phase had officially expired. Fans noticed Faith and Stevie unfollowed each other on Instagram. Classic 2020s breakup move. And while Faith stayed relatively quiet, Stevie? Oh, he turned Twitter into his personal therapy session. He started posting the kind of cryptic sad boy energy that screams, I just got curved and I'm spiraling. Stuff like, drunk people always speak their truth. One's insecurities can damage them. All that glitters ain't gold. Sir, this isn't a poetry slam. You're a grown man with 6 kids and a reality show resume longer than your marriage. But wait, it gets better. In December 2019, Stevie goes full meltdown mode and tweets, no woman is faithful. Like, no woman? Faith was right there, sir. Then the very next morning, after social media dragged him through the timeline like a love and hip-hop reunion fight, he logs back on and claims, I was hacked. Oh, not the I was hacked classic. That excuse is older than his bad boy publishing deal. At that point, everyone could see the writing on the wall. Even if the couple was still trying to play it cute in public, they were showing up to events like the Essence Festival, smiling for cameras, pretending everything was fine. But the tweets, the unfollows, the tension, the collapse was coming. And when it hit, it got real ugly, real fast. By 2020, all the glitter had officially worn off. Whatever work Stevie claimed he was putting in wasn't working. In May of that year, things exploded behind closed doors. Police were called to Faith and Stevie's LA home at 1 a.m. after a heated argument. And this wasn't just a yelling match. Officers reportedly found visible scratches and marks on Stevie's face. Faith was arrested on the spot and taken into custody. She posted bail the same day, and Stevie, true to his ride-or-die chaos king persona, refused to testify, so the charges were dropped. But let's be clear, the damage was done. That mugshot might have been wiped from the record, but the internet never forgets. And just when you think they might step away from the spotlight to work things out, here comes Joseline again. Because what's a Stevie J relationship without at least one more drive-by drag from his baby mama? In April 2021, Joseline lit up Instagram like a fireworks show. She accused Faith of cheating with a bunch of young dudes and then crossed a whole new line. She made disturbing claims about Faith's son, Ryder, who's on the autism spectrum, saying he nearly hurt her daughter, Bonnie Bella, while under Faith's supervision. That allegation hit below the belt. It was messy, reckless, and deeply personal. And while many people dragged Joseline for bringing a child into the drama, the damage to Faith and Stevie's already fragile relationship? Irreversible. 6 months later, in October 2021, the breakup finally became official. Faith and Stevie separated. And in true Stevie J fashion, just 1 month later, he hit the courts with a divorce filing and asked for spousal support. You heard that right. Mr. I was begging Faith to date me turned around and asked her to cut him a check. And what's wild? This wasn't even the biggest red flag, because the financial tea was just getting started. So let's talk about the real reason Stevie might have been so quick to file for divorce and ask for spousal support. The man's money was looking funny. Remember Liz, the woman who claimed she was financially supporting Stevie during their relationship while he was pursuing Faith? Yeah, turns out she might not have been lying, because according to court docs and insider reports, Stevie J was drowning in debt. At the time of the divorce filing, Stevie allegedly owed over $1.3 million in unpaid child support, plus 6 figures in back taxes to both the IRS and the state of Georgia. And guess what? There was no prenup. Meaning if he could convince the court, Faith might have to pay him just for walking away from his chaos. Now imagine being Faith. You marry your son's godfather, he gets caught messaging his ex, spirals on social media, gets you arrested, and then turns around and demands spousal support. Stevie wasn't just trying to break hearts, he was trying to break the bank. Faith wasn't having it. Her legal team hit back hard. In December 2021, they submitted documents asking the court to deny Stevie's request for spousal support and his legal fees. Because why should she fund the man who brought nothing but drama, debt, and embarrassment into her life? Meanwhile, Stevie was still on social media, acting like a heartbroken Romeo. He posted a Mother's Day apology to Faith in 2022, admitting to humiliating her and begging for forgiveness. God knows I'm a better man with you. I'm asking you to allow me to rebuild our trust. Sir, respectfully, the trust is in ashes. Burnt, gone. And while he was waxing poetic online, Faith was keeping it real in court, submitting her financial records and making moves to finalize the divorce for good. Because the truth is, Faith may have ignored the red flags at first. But once Stevie tried to turn her into a walking ATM with a wedding ring, that was the final straw. At this point, it's not even a debate. Faith Evans didn't just ignore the red flags. She tried to build a whole relationship out of them. This wasn't a love story gone sour. It was a slow-motion car crash we all saw coming. And Stevie was in the driver's seat with no brakes and no insurance. From the rushed wedding and cheating allegations to financial chaos and emotional manipulation, this wasn't a romance. It was a liability with lip gloss. And the craziest part? Stevie filed for divorce and still kept begging to make it work. It's giving. I want out, unless you still want to pay my bills. Look, Faith's legacy will always be her voice, her history with Biggie, and her place in R&B royalty. But this relationship? This one's gonna live in the cautionary tale section of her Wikipedia page. Meanwhile, Stevie's out here reminding us all why some people look better as friends, and why exes should stay exes, even if they once had bad boy credentials and a sob story. In the end, Faith got out before the wreckage got any worse. No prenup? Lesson learned. Godfather turned husband turned plaintiff? Never again, because as messy as this saga was, one thing's for sure. Faith Evans might have fallen for the fantasy, but she walked away from the foolery. And honestly, that's the real glow-up.